Hey guys, welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy XII on the MysteriousJG. This is Zodiac Age. So, in fact, that rare mark with the trophy, there is something we could have stolen from it that we should have stolen from it because it's kind of like our only, it's the easiest way to get this particular weapon, the 8 fluted pole. We don't already have one. And normally the completionist in me would want to go back and load and steal that weapon from him, but I've been watching Ald's Let's Play of Final Fantasy Tactics and watching him, you know, sort of go back and redo things to get items that don't end up getting used. It's not a big thing in his LP, but no, I was reminded of all the time I've wasted stealing stuff in Final Fantasy Tactics that I didn't end up getting any use out of. And there are other ways to get it if I really decide I want to get it. The only person who could use it is Balthier, who, as I just was saying in the last video, we're having him use, because he's a monk/mage, but we're having him use staffs, not poles. So I'm making myself not go back and redo it. I might go back and redo it if it weren't for the fact that I don't have that much time. It's late Sunday afternoon. I got to get some videos in. Got like a whole other LP that I need to record some of here today. Was hoping not to turn over my whole Sunday night to it too. But yeah, I'm not going back. We're going to let the 8 fluted pole go. And instead, we are going to just beat up Hydro. So the first thing that we want to do with Hydro is dispel its positive status effects. And one thing I didn't bother to do actually was look and see what kind of gear is everybody using. They all got ribbons on, which is that's smart. If we get in any kind of trouble at all against Hydro, we can start we can go for the Neo whatever trick where you use a remedy on it. Stole a corpse fly. One reason it would have been a good idea to steal an 8 fluted pole from that one boss is although you have a very low success percentage, there's nothing else to steal from it. So you can't accidentally steal something from it like, you know, a potion and then not be able to steal again. Anyway. So I don't know if there's any special trick to beating Hydro, but he's no longer hasted. He appears to be a zombie dragon. He's going for Darkra. That probably does pretty good damage. Actually, damage really wasn't that impressive at all. Van is doing nice damage to him. What weapon is he equipped with? The Mesa. Okay, which is not... he's got a weapon, which is Yagyu Darkblade. We don't want to use that. I have a feeling this thing it's undead. It probably either absorbs or is immune to dark. But we're beating it down pretty handily here. This is not being very threatening. Poor guy doesn't seem to really get off the ground here. I doubt we're allowed to poach it. I'm not going to bother to try. And there we go. As is generally the case with the mandatory story bosses, that wasn't that bad. Oh, it's undead. You might want to burn it. Oh, never mind. It disappeared on its own. So I don't know what's to stop it from rising up again in a minute. To think I could be fighting with an 8 fluted pole. He's using Staff of the Magi. That's, I think he's using Staff of the Magi. I did a quick peek at what some of the other rare hunt marks or any enemy that we can't repeat that's popping up around here. Sort of to be aware. And if we're already using Staff of the Magi, one of them you could potentially get a Staff of the Magi from it, I think. Unless I miss my guess. And we kind of don't care because... Again, unless I'm losing my mind here, I don't think anyone else is going to be allowed to use Staff of the Magi. Yeah. We've already got a Staff of the Magi, and Balthier is the only character who's allowed to equip it anyway, so... we kind of built our Balthier in a weird way. He really doesn't come across as the pirate he should be, since he's using a bunch of... like, I don't know what skill set really works as a pirate in this game. There's no specifically, like, thief skill set you can go with. I guess I could have given him a machinist, machinist, whatever build, just so he could use the guns, but whatever. That's taller than the splits in my skirt.
Hey, Fran. Something's written on the wall.
I think it's a bunch of Super Bowl numbers.
Engraved by someone, it seems.
Well, yeah, written, engraved,
quite
whatever.
Old. Lo, seeker in days unborn, God blade bearer.
How old is she supposed to be, by the way, with the white hair?
This tower challenges the sky. Where the watcher, the ward of the three waits, soul hungry, unsated.
Unsalted.
He without power,
like a
want
delicious
it not.
side of beef.
He with power, trust it not.
And want it, though.
He with sight, heed it not.
He with the
Rend
delicious salted
illusion,
beef, eat it.
Cut the true path.
Not eat it, not.
In blood, Wraithwall.
The Dynast King?
Is that they talking
Does it
about the
startle
Dynast?
you?
Well, what the hell, man? Yeah, I'm
The
terrified now.
Dynast King took his sword from the Ocuria. It was here he claimed the Nethicite.
He actually laid
He
waste
must
to
have known he was
civilization.
not the last the Ocuria would choose. He left this for you.
Well, for someone. He didn't know specifically
Rend
that it would be
illusion,
you.
Cut the true path. Words of much mystery.
Not really.
Yet his blood runs in your veins. Perhaps it whispers to you the truth.
Perhaps not. I don't really know what's going on. I mean, perhaps not. I don't really know what's going on.
Yeah, Rend Illusion cut the true path. Basically seems to be... I don't know, maybe it's just me knowing what I already know about the end of the game, but he seems to be saying, hey, fuck the Ocuria. They're just messing with you. Figure out your own path. Don't let them tell you what to do. That seems to be the message, if we assume that this thing carved on the wall was actually carved for her. You are the hot anime chick of destiny. Anyway, the plot continues. It's disorienting. I've gone so many videos without plot, it's like strange to have multiple scenes in a row that are voice acted. First Descent. Horizon of First Light. Okay, so they're going to make every single floor get its own little cool... I guess, again, I don't remember this part of the game much either, but I guess, getting up there is going to be pretty involved. Nothing happens. Strong magics bend the device, or bind the device. Is this going to be like Tetujin's Tower in Final Fantasy XIII? Which wasn't actually called Tetujin's Tower in any way. Well, unless I missed my guess, this allows us to teleport back out of here. And it's in fact probably this may be the simplest way, other than using the straw, to get to the final boss battles. Or I mean, optional super boss battles. I mean, it's kind of a neat. There's a lot of like really neat bits of dungeon design in this game, as far as the look, not necessarily the layouts. Ancient letters hang in an effulgent glow. This tower, wrought by hands undying, heaven-bound path, its myriad ways cannot be walked by those of the world below. Those who trespass here in avarice will pay with tears. They who master power, wisdom, mist, the tower's secrets are for them and them alone. Now I'll read this one down. Lo, seeker of heaven's paths, setting out hearts of darkness, shall light your way. Beyond vigil of the three houses, stand threshold of night and watches both. Pretty good, eh? You thought Fran was the only one who could inexplicably read all that ancient shit. I mean, it's not inexplicable, I suppose. I guess it could be common knowledge amongst the bunny girls how to speak the dead languages of civilizations who disappeared with no trace and no explanation. Now it's time for Pinello.
The beasts here dwelling oft possess black orbs, herewith approached by thine offering, sealed away to open. Everyone can read except for you, Vaughn.
Yeah, but I can't read the ancient tongue or our own common language. Alright, so it's a maze. Sort of, I suppose. Let's start off by going this way. Somebody aims a spell at Van's butt. Chimera brains. Not really that impressive to look at, are they? Could be our final palette swaps of this particular enemy right here, folks. This one's got bravery applied. Oh, wow. Imagine how much damage Valthier would be doing if I'd stolen the, what is that? Oh, black orb, yeah. Touch the orb. I obtain a black orb. Can you imagine how much damage Balthier would be doing if we had the eight-fluted pole? He'd be an unstoppable beast. But we ruined it forever, folks. The eight-fluted pole will be right up there with all those, be right up there with, that one, Iron Bangle in Final Fantasy XIII. My great regrets. Ancient letters hang in an effulgent glow. I'm trying to think who hasn't read anything yet. I guess Bosch, but doesn't really have much of a voice. Benighted child, unchosen, with life so short, this tower freely may you tread. In your passing learn of truth, in your passing speak of truth. These words writ by hands undying. Sure. Alright. Enemies teleporting around all cool styles. Sorry, buddy, I got a ribbon. It's just what these black orbs are good for, I do not know. Guess I should have picked it up faster than I did. Oh well. But if you just have to kill enemies and take black orbs and eventually that does something, then so be it. Because we came across some, they said something about benighted, whatever, I mean. There was definitely a thing outside where we could interact with it in some way. Maybe having a bunch of black orbs. I got Neo on the brain now. I was waiting for... I saw this wall and saw like two shapes and thought they were eyeballs. And then we needed to do gestures to the wall. I only assume collecting these black orbs is all to the good. I mean, there's no way that these mysterious orbs full of dark power are bad in some way. But if this is the mechanic that we have to just... Oh, I see. We'll fight our way around to the other side, yeah. But if this is a mechanic, you just have to collect a whole bunch of these before you can rise to the next level. I could see how that would get really tiresome. Threshold of Night. Got a pair of Hermes sandals. That's pretty neat. I'm kind of committed to having ribbons on my main combat party, but Hermes sandals are pretty damn good normally. Okay, keep Threshold of Night. I would imagine I'm supposed to be collecting these dark orbs or black orbs or whatever they're called. A mimic! Who would have thought? Yeah, I am starting to think there's just some threshold of night. Sorry, threshold of these that we have to collect before we get to continue, and not that excited about that possibility if I am being completely honest. Oh. Although there was a door out of here that we kind of missed along the way. Not out, but to the other side of that big round chamber where we couldn't get all the way around the perimeter. We could get to the other side of that. See what good that does us. I'm actually finding this black orb thing extra frustrating because it's preventing me from just using the game's built-in frame skip feature to make this go much faster. Well, let's finish this hallway because we've got our map now. Is this just the first floor or the whole place? Okay, that's just the first floor. What a bunch of bullshit, man. Alright. I think I might flee from some stuff just so we can navigate around here without having to... Because at some point, we've got to get told, since it hasn't happened yet, we have to get told what we're doing with these damn orbs, and I'll start collecting them diligently once I know, because at this point, we don't really know what we're doing it for. In theory, it could be a bad thing. Altar of Night. The altar bears a time-worn inscription. I don't know, how can I make Ash sound different from Pinello?
The beasts here dwelling out possess black orbs. Herewith approach by thine offering seal the way to open.
Somebody in the comments, I'm blanking on your name, I apologize. I think it was one of the regulars too. Was kind of talking about, yeah, Final Fantasy 12-2 Revenant Wings and how they haven't played it, but they've heard it does a good job of fleshing out Pinello and Van's characters. I'm kind of like, I don't know. Seems like just by having them have more dialogue but still be generic protagonists, that wouldn't really excite me, but I don't know, that's what happens. The magic seal binding this altar has already been broken. I'm starting to think we've already collected more of those things than we need. If we just have to hit, like, the 4 different corners around this thing, that seems pretty simple. If we just have to give each of them 1 black orb, then we've already got enough black orbs. Or dark orbs, or whatever they are. Let's just kill these guys dead. Damn, man, a loser with no ribbon is all poisoned. What a jerk. Oh, wait, no, I don't want... I want to actually go this way, yeah. Oh, what the hell? I suppose Pinello, or not Pinello, Bosch. Bosch is our kind of big, burly male Pinello. He needs to get rid of the poison just because it's bothering me. What are the odds I get to use black orbs on the next level? Pretty low. Next level probably has, like, light orbs or fire orbs or some crap. Oh, what a bullshit, man. Oh, it's crap. Sorry. But no, okay, so that appears to be the gimmick. You have to defeat not a particularly impressive or terrifying number of enemies, but enough to collect a couple of items. I'm not even going to bother collecting anymore because I feel like we're kind of done with that. So that you can eventually... the real thing seems to be navigating to all the different corners of the map where you need the different... where you have the different altars. I'm thinking now that we started collecting orbs, talking to this thing, or interacting with it will give us the option to use an orb. Is it possible that using a black orb was a terrible idea and that we needed to get the light orbs and the dark orbs going to lead us to some disaster of darkness and death? Yeah, maybe. Alright, so that little zone I haven't been to yet is in fact the way to get to both of the ones that we haven't been to yet. That made sense in my head. I'm not sure if it really came out in a way that was logical, but... So, here we go. And Van finally proves he can read. The beasts here dwelling off possess black orbs. Herewith approach by thine offering, seal the way to open. They oft possess black orbs? It seems like they pretty much all have one. Now if we head outside, the seal of night loses its power. Oh, there was only 3? I figured there would be 4. I guess not. Or I got 4 and wasn't paying enough attention. Alright, so... okay, never mind. It's more than just the first level. Though first ascent, but there's more than one ascent, it sounds like. Probably get up halfway through this whole maze and then have to deal with at least one more boss. Maybe even some plot scenes. Balthier's dad, the evil Cid. He's the most evil Cid since the one who dressed like a condom in Final Fantasy VI. Go check out All Dragons LP of Final Fantasy VI, unless you actually want to see the characters using their actual names, in which case don't. Anyway, that's a thing. Approach strats on how to beat the first boss. Sorry, old. Action sounds. Oh my goodness. I probably mentioned it like 2 or 3 times a video, but the fact that you can speed up is so freaking essential to enhancing my enjoyment of this game. Ancient letters hang in the Stygian glow. Wow. Ahead, the watcher waits. First of 3. Ye without wisdom, return whence you came. Man, it's like a Stygian glow on that thing, man. It's serious doings. So we probably have a boss right here. Or... well, this is kind of neat. Get warped to some kind of dungeon of the mind here. Doesn't look like we can go this way. Is this a recycled map from elsewhere in the game, with, like, colored differently, or is this... whoa. Ye without wisdom turn back. So there's something spiritual and spooky going on here. because we went in some direction and got warped away. What are those objects? Big stone is something. Well, it's a big stone of something that's starting to move. It's getting mysterious and spooky. Altogether ooky. I think this might be a good time to call it a video before I start singing the Addams Family. Doodle-doo. No, yeah, next time, folks, this is kind of an interesting cliffhanger here. We opened a door in Stygian darkness, and I don't know what the word Stygian means. I've seen it used in various fantasy media. It always seems to refer to something that's hellish. I guess maybe it's just a word for hell. But, yeah, we walk through a door of Stygian darkness and come into this weird area that doesn't seem connected to the Pharaoh's lighthouse, but like our vision's obscured. It's all weird and mystical, and it seems pretty evil. But I guess we'll find out next time, because the Pharaoh's lighthouse itself isn't supposed to be inherently evil, I didn't think, but I don't know that we ever understand exactly what it is. I really don't think we're ever told what this Pharaoh's lighthouse actually is. The Ritteran Cataract is an area that's enveloped in thick mist, which means that most airships can't reach it. The straw is like fancy like that, and it's able to get through after it got repairs done. But what we know about this place is that the Sunstone is here. And I don't even remember exactly how we come across that information. But it seems to be connected with the mystical, mysterious Ocuria. The Ocuria seem to want to use Ash as their champion to control the destiny of man. They seem to be gods. There are hints that they look down on humanity as being beneath them, but they also feel like they're in charge of guiding us. And yada, yada, yada. Sis boom ba. Bugs Bunny, rah, rah, rah. No, but for all we know, these people who used to live, who built the Pharaoh's lighthouse, I mean, maybe the implication was they were trying to build some kind of tower to reach where the Ocuria were, to set themselves on a level equal with the Ocuria, and it's like the Tower of Babel, where God struck it down and created all the languages of the world so that men could never work together on something like that. Again, so God tries to hold men back, and what do? We counterattack with Esperanto. But anyway, no, like, I'm making all this up. Like, I don't think the game ever comes out and really says that's what's going on with this place, but it would be thematically appropriate. So the Ocuria, whose most powerful artifact is stored here, but also this place has got this theme of trying to reach the gods, and the people who built it seem to be gone. So I don't know what we'll encounter at the top, but it almost certainly has to be easier than the Tower of Babel level from ActRaiser 2. As frustrating as this game can be at times, I think a full clear of Final Fantasy XII with no cheating would be take me less time than actually ever getting good enough at ActRaiser 2 to win that game. ActRaiser 2, by the way, not as long as Final Fantasy XII. Fuck loads harder. I'm MysteriousJG. I've been stalling for way too long. It's time to call it a video. When we come back, we'll find out, hopefully, what that rock is and why it's moving around. I sense a boss fight, but we'll see for sure next time. Bye-bye.